Hi folks, back again. Bathrobe Chronicles number 65, part 2, and I'm talking about psychics. And I'm sure I just wowed you with my psychic abilities in knowing what card that you guys picked, because what I did is I tapped into, you know, your vibrations or whatever out there, and that's how I knew it. But anyway, getting back to the serious part of this is believers sort of take stuff at face value, it seems. In other words, people who believe that there are people with psychic abilities, they never question anything. In other words, they blindly go there. They blindly say, oh gosh, you know. And I've talked before about confirmation bias and stuff like that. So you might have a psychic who throws out like 100 things, and only 2 of them are right. But the person immediately dismisses or ignores, or whatever the mechanism is in their brain, you know, the 98 that were wrong, but yet they latch on to the 2 that were right or close to right. The believers never question anything. I guess it would be, well, like in all walks of life, or in all experiences, or in all of these things. In other words, I don't believe the average Christian ever questions whether there's a God. I mean, if they're like a true believer, even if every once in a while something pops up in their mind, I think what they do is they rationalize it or whatever, or they don't confirm it, but especially with the psychics and the ESP and all this other business, the believers never question anything. They never ask for evidence. They never even want to say, well, what's the mechanism by how this works? In other words, how in the world does this person, you know, have this ability? They're psychic. There's just so much out there to refute, for lack of a better word, all of this stuff, or debunk. You know, people oftentimes call skeptics debunkers. That's sort of a derogatory term, I think. But I guess the point I'm getting to is, folks, you would question the ability of a magician to do magic. You would question that and say it's a trick. But yet when a psychic tells you that your, what do they call them, your spirit guide is named Homer or Rufus or Priscilla, you never question that. Think about that for a minute. I'm going to be able to tell you about your spirit guide. Well, I mean, you have to believe in spirits to begin with, but anyway. I'm not sure what I guess the purpose of this was an actual incident that happened quite a few years ago. And I guess the point I want to make, and I'm sure I've already made, but I'm going to, as I said, I have a PhD in beating dead horses, is open your minds. Come on. Don't be so closed-minded about all this stuff. If you believe in psychics, then I doubt seriously, if you're watching me, if you believe in psychics, although I'll have psychics in the tagline and say I'm a psychic, maybe you'll come in for a minute or two. But use a little skepticism. And if you have any brains at all, I mean, you know, as they say, if your IQ is above room temperature, open your mind up a little bit and think some of this stuff through. And particularly with psychics, there's so many what we would call bad hits. In other words, they throw this crap out, and of course it's no. Oh, I see Uncle Harry standing next to you. I never had an Uncle Harry. You know, then of course, oh, I see. Well, it's someone who knows somebody who's named Harry. I mean, come on, you people, anybody who's sucked in by these psychics. I mean, really, you got a really big problem. It's a wonder you can even function during the day, or find your daggone car, or drive down the road, or make an intelligent decision about doing anything. You know, if you carried that same logic, for lack of a better word, in your daily affairs, man, your life would be a hell of a mess. You know, of course, it may be a hell of a mess anyway, but I mean, really, you know, you might like go into some store and they're having like a 20% off or something, and hopefully you'll have enough wherewithal to know what that means, and that the 20% off in and of itself really doesn't mean anything. The only thing that counts is really how much you're paying for the damn thing. Could have been overpriced or marked up to begin with. Hopefully you have some of those kinds of abilities. And if you do, why in the world do you sort of block your mind off when you go see these whack jobs, these spiritualists, these psychics, these palm people, palm readers? What's that other old-timey word? Oh, heck, I don't know. The tarot cards, the tea leaves in the teacup or something. Come on, what the hell's wrong with you? Anyway, I guess that's enough. I don't know if I've made my point, but what the hell? I mean, open your mind up a little bit. Come on, don't keep, pissing away your money on these people. All this bogus stuff out there. And the irony of it is daggone, like online psychics or whatever you call them, where you pick up the phone. Gosh, I bet you're paying them like a couple $100, an hour or so, or $300 an hour. Sylvia Brown gets, I think, $750 for 20 or 25 minutes. You know what? You'd be better off finding a regular, real counselor. No, not some whack job counselor who believes in all that baloney, and go talk to them for a few minutes, and they would charge you far less. Or hey, send me some money. I'll talk to you. Anyway, as I said, this is most likely a goofy one, but that's just the way it is. Anyway, as Pat Condell would say, folks, peace. Stay away from those dang psychics and all that other BS, okay? You better. Peace, ladies and gentlemen.